Hi, this is Jamie Mallender speaking to you from Starbucks Studios. I would like to present to you the Fret King Black Label Esprit 1 bass guitar. Okay, so the first thing that we notice about the Esprit bass is the awesome shape. Now, when I first saw a photograph of the prototype for this bass, I thought, yeah, that looks great. I've got to check that out. But I was a little bit concerned about the shape, because very often your more extreme looking instrument, your more exciting shaped bass guitar is more difficult to play. A lot of them suffer with a certain amount of neck dive, or just feel real uncomfortable to wear. And one in particular I can think of that most bass players try to convince themselves is a great instrument because it looks so cool. It actually just feels like a giant slab. So for me, the question is, can I play everything on the more exciting looking instrument that I can play on the more traditional shaped bass guitar? Now, I've had this one now for a couple of months. I've been playing it an awful lot, and I can tell you that it has an extremely slim satin finished neck that's very, very easy to get around. It sounds like a really, really heavy piece of wood. I mean, it sounds massive, but it's actually very, very light to wear on a strap. It doesn't feel uncomfortable to sit with. There's nothing about it that's not very, very user friendly and being considered to the player's needs. So yeah, I would say this bass represents both things. It looks real sexy, but it's real easy to play. I've had a lot of questions about this bass. There's been an awful lot of interest in it, which I think in no small part has been generated by the radical looks of the instrument. But the first question on everyone's mind seems to be, is it basically just a really good rock bass? Well, I can understand from the look of it, you know, why people might think that, you know, but you know, appearances can be deceptive. I would say it's very much like myself. Appearances might lead you to believe that it can play one style of music, but it is in fact capable of much more. I've been tapping it and slapping it and playing all kinds of different styles on it. So no, I would say that it's a very versatile instrument. So forget the radical looks of this bass. The really radical thing going on here that we need to know about is this pickup. Now, we may appear to have just one big fat loud humbucker on the bass, but as we've already established, appearances can be deceptive. Now, this is a small piece of, or rather a rather large piece of, Trevor Wilkinson magic. The pickup is in essence a humbucker, and at that, the loudest humbucker I've ever encountered. I did used to own a signature bass that I won't mention because it's made by another company, but it had a humbucker here in the neck position. You may know what I'm talking about here, and people used to marvel at how loud it was, but I'm sure that this thing is much louder. For a passive instrument, this thing, the output is absolutely incredible. Now, what we do here is we have a vari-coil, which by degree winds the humbucker back to a single coil for that nice bright bridge sound. And with use of the vari-coil and the tone control, of course, there's a wide variety of tones available, so the bass is not a one-trick instrument as it may first appear. For many years I played more or less exclusively active basses. This is because with the higher output that you get from an active bass guitar, it makes it much easier to dial in a sound in the studio very quickly, to get a great signal live. But I started to feel like there was something missing from those basses. I was craving more of an old school kind of a tone, a bit more character maybe, and I wanted that kind of more of a vintage classic pickup sort of a sound. That's kind of when I became a Fret King endorsee. I was very attracted to the Fret King Ventura, which had it had 3 classic style pickups on one bass. But with this bass, we have a very, very high output, much as we do with the active instrument. But the pickup is passive. It has a lot of character, a character perhaps all of its own. I've been able to dial in sounds with this bass that I've never had on a bass before, and you know, I have had a fair old few of them. So I think this is another example of this bass being very much the best of both worlds. So to sum up, a unique looking instrument with some unique features. There's certainly nothing else quite like this on the market today. But it's not too radical, it's not too out there for it not to become a worthy addition to anyone's collection of basses. And for me, this is certainly becoming one of my go-to workhorse basses. Check one out.
Wow.